Have you ever felt like you're standing in the middle of a storm? The world around you is rushing faster than you can breathe, and inside your chest there's a weight you can't quite name. Doubt, fear, pressure, they swirl like dark clouds, threatening to break you. And yet, within every storm, there is a quiet center, a place of stillness. This is where the Stoics lived. This is where you can live too. We live in an age of noise, endless deadlines, constant comparisons, and silent fears of not being enough. Our minds are restless, our confidence fragile. But imagine if you could anchor yourself in a wisdom so timeless. It has guided emperors, warriors, and thinkers through the darkest storms of history. That wisdom is Stoicism. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or retreating from life. It is about facing life's chaos with strength, clarity, and calm. Seneca taught that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Epictetus reminded us that control begins within. Marcus Aurelius showed that even the most powerful man in the world needed inner peace. And now, you too can learn their secrets. In this video, we will uncover 7 Stoic principles that can transform the way you see yourself, the way you face challenges, and the way you build confidence. By the end, you'll not only understand the philosophy of the Stoics, you'll carry it with you as armor for modern life. The storm will not control you. You will walk through it, calm, strong, unshaken. The first Stoic principle that transforms both personality and confidence is this: master your perception. The way you see the world shapes the way you live in it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This principle is not abstract philosophy, it is a weapon, because when you master perception, you master yourself. Think of it this way: 2 people can face the same storm. One sees disaster, the other sees training. 2 workers lose their job. One sees failure, the other sees freedom to begin anew. The Stoics taught us that events themselves are neutral. It is our judgment that makes them heavy or light. By learning to step back and ask, "What story am I telling myself about this?" you reclaim power from the chaos of life. Consider Epictetus, born a slave, crippled, stripped of freedom. And yet he insisted, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Though chains bound his body, his mind remained unbroken. This is not just history, it is a reminder. If Epictetus could transform pain into strength, then so can we. Every challenge you face today, an insult, a failure, a rejection, is an invitation to practice the same mastery of perception. So how do you practice this? Begin with a pause. When something frustrates you, before reacting, breathe and ask, is this truly harmful, or is it my perception that gives it weight? Write it down in a journal, reframe it, and you will see that most fears lose their power. Over time, this practice hardens your mind like tempered steel. Your personality becomes calm, your confidence steady, not because life got easier, but because you grew stronger. Perception is the lens through which you live your life. When you learn to polish that lens, the world itself changes, not because it has shifted, but because you now see it clearly. As the Stoics remind us, control begins in the mind. And when you master your perception, no storm can shake you, no failure can define you, no judgment can break you. This is the first step to confidence rooted in unshakable strength. The second Stoic principle is this: master your perspective. Life is not only about what happens, but about the position from which you choose to see it. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Perspective is the art of looking beyond the immediate, of widening your gaze until burdens become smaller and gratitude grows larger. Think of perspective as a lens. Through a narrow lens, the smallest problem fills the entire frame. Through a wide lens, the same problem shrinks against the vastness of life. The Stoics taught us to step back, to see ourselves as part of nature, part of something greater. With perspective, we learn that most of what we fear today will be forgotten tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius, ruling the vast Roman Empire, faced war, betrayal, and plague. Yet in his meditations, he constantly reminded himself to zoom out, to see his reign against the backdrop of eternity. He wrote, "Consider how swiftly all things are dissolved and resolved. The universe abides. Only a moment is ours. If an emperor could remind himself of his smallness, how much more can we?" How does this help you? When anxiety strikes, pull back. Imagine your life as a single page in a vast book. Will today's embarrassment, rejection, or failure matter in 10 years, or even in one? By zooming out, you break the illusion that every problem is the end of the world. Perspective frees you to act with clarity instead of panic, with wisdom instead of fear. Perspective is power. The Stoics knew that when you expand your vision, you expand your strength. The storm shrinks, fear loses its grip, and your confidence grows steady. Life is short, but vast. Problems are real, but small. And when you learn to see the world as it is, not as your panic paints it, you become unshakable. The third Stoic principle is one of the most liberating truths. Control what you can and release what you can't. Epictetus, once a slave, made this the foundation of his teaching. Some things are in our control and others not. The more energy you waste on what lies beyond your power, the weaker you become. But when you focus only on what you can govern, your thoughts, your actions, your choices, you become unstoppable. Think about it. You cannot control the weather, the economy, or other people's opinions. But you can control how you show up, how you think, how you act. The Stoics insisted on this clear boundary, like a wall around the mind. Beyond the wall, the world rages. Inside the wall, you are sovereign. This is not weakness. It is freedom, for nothing outside can enslave a mind that governs itself. Consider Admiral James Stockdale, a modern Stoic who survived years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. He endured torture, darkness, and uncertainty. But he lived by Epictetus's words. He could not control his captors, but he could control his character. This mindset saved him. And it can save us too, because no matter how brutal the storm, the choice of who we become remains ours. How does this apply today? When you're rejected by someone, you cannot control their choice. But you can control whether you let bitterness consume you or wisdom guide you. When your career path shifts, you cannot dictate the economy, but you can control your skill, your discipline, your response. Each time you release what you cannot change, you reclaim energy to build what you can. Freedom is not found in changing the world to suit your desires. Freedom is found in mastering the boundary. Inside, your will; outside, fate. The Stoics remind us that when we control what is ours and release what is not, we are no longer slaves to outcomes. We become calm in victory, calm in loss, because nothing essential can ever be taken from us. The fourth Stoic principle is this: embrace discomfort as training. The Stoics believed that hardship was not punishment, but preparation. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." To live only in comfort is to grow fragile. To embrace discomfort is to forge resilience. Every trial you face is not breaking you. It is training you for greatness. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. Muscles only grow by tearing. Minds only sharpen by struggle. The Stoics welcomed discomfort because it was proof of life's classroom. Cold mornings, hunger, rejection, loss. These were not curses, but teachers. By changing the way you see discomfort, you transform it from an enemy into a personal trainer for the soul. Cato the Younger, a Stoic statesman, trained himself to walk barefoot through snow and wear simple clothes while others lived in luxury. Why? Because he knew life would test him, and he wanted to be ready. His hardships became armor. And though Rome's politics were ruthless, Cato's endurance became legendary. Like him, you can use discomfort not to suffer, but to prepare. For us, embracing discomfort means small daily choices. Waking earlier than you want, taking cold showers, exercising discipline when laziness tempts you, facing conversations you fear. Each act of discomfort expands your capacity for life. While others crumble at the first sign of stress, you will stand unshaken, because you have trained your mind and body to carry weight. The Stoics remind us that comfort weakens, but discomfort strengthens. Do not run from struggle, run toward it. For in every trial lies hidden strength, waiting to be uncovered. When you embrace discomfort as training, you no longer fear the storm. You walk into it, knowing it forges you into someone unbreakable. The fifth Stoic principle is simple but life-changing. Practice gratitude and presence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Gratitude shifts the mind from what is missing to what is already overflowing. And presence keeps you from wasting life in regret of the past or fear of the future. Gratitude is not denial of hardship. It is the art of recognizing light even within shadows. The Stoics knew that the shortest path to joy is not through gaining more, but through seeing more. When you pause to notice the breath in your lungs, the food before you, the friendships around you, you discover that wealth is not measured in coins, but in awareness. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men of his time, often reminded himself of poverty's simplicity. He would eat plain bread, drink water, and sleep on the floor, not to suffer, but to remind himself that joy does not depend on riches. By practicing voluntary simplicity, he trained his heart to be grateful for little. When luxury came, it was a bonus, not a prison. For us, practicing gratitude means slowing down. When you wake, instead of reaching for your phone, breathe and name 3 things you're thankful for. When you feel anxious, anchor yourself in presence. Look at the sky, listen to your breath, write down what is good right now. Gratitude softens the heart, presence steadies the mind. Together, they transform daily chaos into calm clarity. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Presence turns fleeting moments into eternity. Together, they create an unshakable foundation for confidence, not one built on achievements or possessions, but on awareness. The Stoics invite us to stop chasing tomorrow and to fully live today. For only in this moment, seen with grateful eyes, are we truly alive. The sixth Stoic principle is this: define your purpose with clarity. Without direction, even strength is wasted. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." The Stoics believe that purpose is gravity. It pulls us forward, anchors us in storms, and gives shape to our lives. Without it, we drift. With it, we endure. Purpose is not found in chance. It is forged by choice. Too many wander, pulled by every distraction, never asking, what truly matters to me? The Stoics urged us to strip away noise until the core remains. To live without purpose is to live scattered. To live with clarity is to channel all effort into one stream, powerful enough to cut through stone. Epictetus taught his students to define their role clearly. First, say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. His own life was proof. From slave to teacher of emperors, he lived with unwavering focus. History shows us that clarity of purpose, not circumstances, determines greatness. Fate can strike, storms can rage, but a clear aim endures. For us, clarity means asking difficult questions. What values do I stand on? What work gives my life meaning? What kind of person do I want to become? Write these down, refine them, live them. Once your purpose is clear, choices become simple. Distractions lose their grip, and every day becomes training in service of your highest aim. The Stoics remind us, without purpose, life is wasted in fragments. But with purpose, even suffering becomes fuel. Define yours with clarity, and you will find that storms no longer scatter you. You will move with the quiet strength of gravity itself, steady, inevitable, unstoppable. The seventh Stoic principle is this: end each day with reflection and preparation. The Stoics knew that how you close your day shapes how you live your life. Every evening, Marcus Aurelius would write in his journal, recording not just victories, but failures, doubts, and lessons. He faced himself honestly, then prepared for tomorrow. Reflection is not weakness, it is training for the soul. Epictetus advised his students, "Let sleep not come upon your weary eyes before you have reckoned up each deed of the day." Reflection sharpens awareness, reveals blind spots, and prepares the mind. It is not about self-criticism, but self-mastery. When you review your day, you gain clarity. What did I do well? Where did I falter? How can I meet tomorrow stronger? Seneca compared life to a play. At the end of each act, the actor must prepare for the next. Each night was his rehearsal for tomorrow. By reflecting on past lines and mistakes, he grew ready for the next performance. The Stoics did not wait for crisis to prepare, they practiced daily readiness. And so their minds became theaters of discipline and calm. In our time, this means creating a nightly ritual. Before bed, write 3 lessons from your day. Acknowledge what went well. Forgive yourself for what faltered. Set one clear intention for tomorrow. This practice empties the mind of clutter, calms the heart, and gives rest to the body. Reflection ends chaos. Preparation invites peace. Reflection turns life into wisdom. Preparation turns wisdom into strength. By ending each day with honest review and clear intention, you step into tomorrow not as a victim of chance, but as a student of life, armed with clarity. This is how the Stoics lived. And this is how you can live too. Calm, prepared, unshakable. Conclusion: the unshakable path. We have walked through 7 Stoic principles: mastering perception, shaping perspective, controlling what you can, embracing discomfort, practicing gratitude, defining purpose, and ending each day with reflection. Together, they form a fortress for the soul, walls not of stone, but of wisdom. These are not just ancient words. They are practical tools, forged in fire, tested by time, waiting for you to use them. Remember this: storms will come, doubts will rise, and life will test you. But you are not powerless. The Stoics show us that strength does not come from changing the world. It comes from mastering yourself. Confidence is not arrogance. It is calm rooted in clarity. When you carry these principles, no storm can shake you. No failure can define you. No fear can silence you. Tonight, take one step. Write down the principle that spoke most to you. Tomorrow, practice it in one real situation. Growth does not come from listening alone. It comes from action. The Stoics remind us, philosophy is not words, but a way of living. Let this video be your beginning, not your end. This is Stoic Miracles. Here, we turn philosophy into strength and chaos into clarity. If this message spoke to you, share it, live it, and return to it when the storm rises again. Remember, life is not about avoiding the storm, but about becoming unshakable within it.